How you doing? I hope that you guys are doing pretty well on this and you're understanding everything. If not, that is fine. That is what this video is for. So I'm going to go through, this is the first video, so it's going to be questions 1 through 5. How do you actually solve them? So the first one, you're solving it by graphing. So it's y equals 2x plus 4 and y equals negative x plus 1. So they're both, fortunately, in the form y equals mx plus b. So what we do is, okay, so 2x plus 4. So we know my y-intercept of the first equation is 4. So I go ahead and I put my dot at 4. And my slope is 2. So remember, a slope of 2 means it's up 2 to the right 1. So I move to the right 1 and up 2, or up 2 over the right 1. Doesn't matter which way you do it. Click that in, and it automatically forms the line for you. The second one is negative x plus 1. So my y-intercept is 1. Put my point at 1, 0, 1. And then the slope is negative 1. So that means down 1, right 1. Put it in. And you can clearly see right there, it has a intersection point at negative 1, 2. So you'd come here and type in, negative 1 and 2. That leads us to question 2. We need to solve this by substitution. So we have 4x plus 5y equals 6, and y equals negative 5x minus 3. So what's nice about this is it tells us what y is. So we're just going to take that and substitute it right in there for y. So we get 4x, it's a little slow, plus 5 times, and we just substitute what we have in there. So that's negative 5x minus 3. And that equals 6. So now I go through and I distribute my 5. So we get 4x plus, let me erase that. It's going to be a minus because it's times a negative. Okay. 4x minus 25x. Now 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. That equals 6. Go ahead, combine like terms, and 4x minus 25x is negative 21x minus 15 equals 6. Okay. Add 15 on both sides. We get negative 21x equals 21x. That's nice for us. Oh, I'm sorry, equals 21, not 21x. What am I saying? Divide both sides by negative 21. I know it's a little messy. I'm sorry. So x equals 21 divided by negative 21 is negative 1. So x is negative 1. So now we just plug negative 1 in for x up here. So we have y equals, now we could have done the first one, it's just a little bit easier in the second one. Negative 5 times negative 1 minus 3. Okay, so this becomes, so negative 5 times negative 1 is 5 minus 3. So y equals 2. Okay, so it's negative 1, 2. Now we can check that real quick just by plugging it in. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, plus 5 times 2 is 10. So negative 4 plus 10 is 6. And then here, negative 5 times negative 1 is 5, minus 3. 5 minus 3 is 2, and that's what we came up with. The next question needs to be solved by elimination. So elimination is where we get the coefficient of either both x's or both y's to be the same. It doesn't matter which way you do it. You could get both x's here to be 12 or both y's here to have a coefficient of 5. I'm going to do it with the 5. No big reason, just other than it's the first one. It's a little bit less to multiply by. Not that big of a deal. Okay, so we multiply everything in this equation up here by 5. So 5 times 2 is 10. Sorry, 5 times 2x is 10x, minus 5 times y is 5y, and 5 times 1 is 5. Okay. To make life easy, I just rewrite the other equation down underneath it. Okay, So now I have a negative 5y and a negative 5y. So in order for me to eliminate that negative 5y, I need to subtract this. Because if I have a negative 5 and I were to add these two together, negative 5y plus negative 5y is negative 10y. We don't want that. We want to remove that minus 5y from here. So we're going to subtract everything here. So 10x minus 12x is negative 2x. Negative 5y minus negative 5y is 0. And 5 minus 1 is 4. So now what we're going to do is divide both sides by negative 2. And x equals negative 2. Because 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. Now let's take negative 2 and substitute it in. I'll put it into the first one just because it's a little bit easier. So that's 2 times negative 2 minus y equals 1. So that's minus 4 minus y equals 1. Add 4 to both sides. You gotta be careful here. It does not give us y, it gives us negative y. Negative y equals 5. So how do I get this to be positive y? I multiply both sides by negative 1. Y equals minus 5. Okay. So it's negative 2, negative 5. Now we can just check it real quick. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 minus negative 5, or that would be negative 4 plus 5, which is 1. I plug it in here. 12 times negative 2 is negative 24, minus 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. So negative 24 minus negative 25 is really plus 25. So negative 24 plus 25 is 1. So that one works. Let's come to the next one. Now this one says, determine the number of solutions of the system. So you could do this either by substitution or elimination. It's your choice. Doesn't matter which way you do it. This one is clearly easier to do by elimination because the coefficients of both of the variables happen to be the same. So to eliminate them, we would subtract them. So 3x minus 3x is 0. 2y minus 2y is 0. So this is 0 plus 0, which equals 0. And 1 minus 4 is negative 3. Okay. So now because I have an equation that's not true, there's no way that you can get 0 equal to be negative 3. So in that case, this would be no solution. Okay. So when you're showing your work on your piece of paper, I need to see all of that. All right. This part, if you want to write it, that's great. But then obviously you will click into Big Ideas to see that one. The next one is a word problem. Now, what's nice about this word problem is they actually give you the system of equations you're going to need. Okay. So right here, so a store sells hardcover books for $8. Paperback books for $5. You buy 7 books represented by the equation x plus y is 7. So however many hardcover books you get and paperbacks, it comes out to be 7 total. And they tell you in this case, x is the number of hardcover books, y is the number of paperbacks. Okay, and this equation tells you the total cost. So the number of hard books is $8 each. The number of paperbacks you get is $5 each. So you multiply those out, and it has to equal 38. So x plus y is 7, okay? 8x plus 5y equals 38. So now it does not tell you how you have to solve it. So if you are more comfortable solving it with substitution, go right ahead. If you are more comfortable solving it by elimination, go right ahead. I honestly like elimination a little bit better sometimes. This one's a little bit easier with elimination. I think this is a little bit less chaotic. So I could either multiply this whole thing by 8 or I can multiply it by 5. Doesn't matter. I'll just do it by 5 here. So 5x plus 5y equals 35. Rewrite the other equation, 8x plus 5y is 38. So what am I going to do to these? Well, both of these are positive 5y. So in order for me to eliminate the 5y, I need to subtract the two of them from one another. So 5x minus 8x is negative 3x. 5y minus 5y is 0. 35 minus 38 is negative 3. Oh, this isn't so bad. Divide both sides by negative 3. X equals 1. Okay. Now we come over here and figure out the number of paperbacks. So I'm going to use the first equation just so that way I don't have to worry about any division. So x is 1, plus y equals 7. Subtract 1 from both sides. Y equals 6. Okay, so you need 1 hardcover book and 6 paperback books. And that kind of makes sense. 1 plus 6 is 7. That works. But 8 times 1 is 8 plus 5 times 6. I don't know why I said 7. I'm sorry. 6. 5 times 6 is 30. So 30 plus 8 is 38. So x is 1. Y is 6. Or hardcover is 1. Paperback is 6. Good luck. The second video will have questions 6 through 10.